You're tuned in to the only all-sports talk network in the Middle East, IsraelSportsRadio.com.
Back here on Lewis Live, and it is a privilege to introduce our next guest. He's a professional athlete that plays for Maccabi Haifa right now. In the past, he's played for the New York Knicks, the Detroit Pistons, Atlanta Hawks, the Milwaukee Bucks, and the Toronto Raptors. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a warm Lewis Live welcome to Jermaine Jackson. Jermaine, how you doing out there?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Oh, it's great to have you on.
Great down here.
Great privilege, and I got to start like this. You do play for Maccabi Haifa. It's owned by Jeffrey Rosen. He is a billionaire. Are you going to hang out with him at New Year's at all?
No, we're not going to hang out with him in New Year's. I think he'll be in Miami, and we'll still be in Haifa.
Oh, he'll be in Miami? Oh, of course, yes. Can you blame him, Jermaine?
No, you can't blame him. I mean, with the money he has and, the nice weather and, the parties and things out there, can't blame him but to be in Miami at that time.
Actually, now, speaking of Miami, of course, like I mentioned, you played in the NBA, and we were a little scared here that we were not going to have a season. They work everything out, and it looks like Miami is the team to beat. That's what, quote-unquote, the experts say. And a lot of people are not showing the Mavericks respect, and you're a guy that takes the game with a lot of pride, a professional athlete, and play the NBA. If you're the Mavericks right now, you have a special chip on your shoulder, or just kind of, hey, the media are a bunch of idiots, and let's just not pay attention to them?
Well, I mean, you really have to look at it as an athlete, or as a team organization. It's always hard to go back-to-back to the NBA Finals with the teams that you have in the NBA. I mean, you have to look at who Dallas also has to go through with a better Golden State team, a better, more experienced Oklahoma City team. And, you have the Lakers kind of down right now, but you don't know what type of move they're going to make in the next 25 to 30 games. And, I mean, Utah is always going to be tough with their style of play. So, and, Dallas lost a couple of key pieces. I think Tyson Chandler was very important to that team, just how Sean Williams is to Maccabi Haifa. So, I mean, it's kind of tough, but, as a player, you look at it and say, I won a championship, now you want to put someone else in front of me because, you have LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh on that team. I mean, it's kind of disrespectful, but it's the NBA, so you can do whatever you want to do. Say whatever you want to say.
All right, Jermaine, be honest with me. Did you call up Sean after he vomited the game with when he was with the Mavericks? Did you call him up and make fun of him or laugh at him whatsoever?
No, I didn't, man. I didn't. I don't know if he had a nervous stomach or he ate too much or, I know it wasn't that he was out of shape because he ran well here. So,
right.
I don't know. I guess it's, excitement that he's back in the NBA again.
Absolutely. It's not good, though, with Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban's in shape. Okay, I'm not going to knock him too much, and, he's a good guy. But he's busy laughing. Everyone, opposing team fans, his teammates, they're all laughing at him. And I was like, oh, goodness. I mean, because I've had bad moments, where I've drank a little too much, and I vomit, but I'm in a toilet where no one can see me do it. And in front of everyone, that kind of sucks, right?
Yeah, it does, because, I mean, that's something that's going to stick with all sports channels for years and years to come. I mean, when my son become 25, 30 years old, he'll still be, oh, my daddy used to play with that guy right there. He grew up on the court, so it's going to stick with him for years till he's, maybe a little bit past a grandfather.
Probably go down under best bloopers of all time.
Hey, I vote for it.
I hear that. Now, Jermaine, I got to ask you, because you went undrafted in 1999 after you finished your college career, and you were signed by the Detroit Pistons as a free agent. Did you feel like when you got into professional basketball that there was a chip on your shoulder to prove the doubters wrong?
Yeah. I mean, I felt like that all through college, And but that's just the edge that you have to have in your mind as an athlete, because my whole motto was no one was going to come in the gym and outwork me. There was always probably someone that was more talented than me, but there wasn't no one that's going to come in the gym and outwork me, and that was the biggest chip that I had on my shoulder as being in the NBA.
I got fair enough then. That definitely sounds like a mindset of what one were to expect from a player who didn't get drafted. But I also got to ask you, with that said, what has been your best moment as a professional athlete to date?
I mean, I had so many of them, but maybe the night that me being a Toronto Raptor and the night that not knowing you was going to play too much here and there, but I always kept myself ready to play, and it was just a night where we won like 10 games in a row, and we needed to win 12 games to get to the playoffs that year, and we made it against the Detroit Pistons, and that 11th game, we played the Atlanta Hawks, and Alvin Williams got in foul trouble, and Chris Childs was hurt, and it was real major that day for me to, that night for me to step up, and I actually came out of the game with a double-double, and we won the game, so that was one of the major highlights in my NBA career.
Jermaine, I remember that year because a lot of people thought, the Raptors not going to pull this off. I mean, they got to do their crazy
The Vegas
thing.
odds better were loving it.
Yes, the Vegas men loved it, but it wasn't
Not
so
at the
likely.
end.
Yeah, not at the end. But that was a great story, and happy that you were on a team with success at the end. Now, I want to ask you about the city of Haifa because it's funny. I was thinking about this earlier today. Jerusalem is a very multicultural city, but it's in brackets, like literally the Christian quarter, the Jewish quarter, the Muslim quarter, the Armenian quarter. Haifa, on one end of the street, you'll see a synagogue, and the other end of the street, you'll see a pork shop. So what is that like for you? Is that a little weird at all?
You know what? I tell you the truth, man. Honestly, I never really, pay attention to it because it's just I'm basically in the gym or in the house. I really don't too much get out and be sightseeing, is either at the gym or at home or maybe step out to the market to get a bite to eat or something like that. And, I mean, when I see it, it's just, it doesn't bother me because, for me being in Spain and Italy and Greece and things like that and Ukraine, I see it all the time, so it's kind of natural to me.
Hi, Jermaine. It's Michael here. It's been great getting to know you. I wanted to ask you, I heard your family just arrived to Israel, and I was wondering what their thoughts of the Holy Land and being here.
Oh, well, they was here a couple months last year, and they really liked it, so I figured, I would bring them here, with me, to comfort me, we comfort each other, and, my family's a big supporter of me in my life, and I feel like when my family's with me that I feel more stronger, more secure. But they really like it here. I'm actually in the midst of getting my son on the junior Haifa basketball team and getting him involved with, some kids here in school, getting him to learn a little Hebrew and, get another coach up under his belt.
Absolutely. That's the way to do it. I mean, I look forward to teaching my kids a bunch of different languages. Here you have an opportunity. Hebrew, are they picking it up? You hear them speaking Hebrew somewhat?
Well, somewhat.
Like me.
I just have to keep them away from certain people because certain people will say some words that's not, that's not presented for a kid, and they'll pick those up and be saying them freely.
The first words that most people end up picking up in a foreign country
are the swear words.
You say, what is it?
No. That's what I understand the fear because that is usually the first words that people pick up in a foreign country are those that should not be repeated in public.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, I got to ask you, in 2004, you did win a championship. It was the Italian Cup when you were playing in Italy with Benetton Treviso. What was that like being on the top of the pedestal in a professional league?
You know what? It's great that you asked that question because I was kind of talking to my teammates about that, and you never know when you're going to get back. That's the thing about it. You never know when you're going to get back, so you can treasure it as much as you can when you're in that moment, but I think it hurts and you enjoy it a little bit more when you're away from that moment and you're in situations where it's not as it was when you played for those championship teams. It gets difficult because you try to strive to get back to that point, but you have, maybe some young guys on your team that don't even understand at being in the pedestal that high. They don't understand that. And you look at that team. I mean, it was me, Maurice Evans, Tyus Edney, Andrea Bargani, Garba Hoser, Ricardo Peters. I mean, everybody from that team went back to the NBA. You know what I'm saying? And Andrea Bargani got drafted.
Right.
Number one. So, I mean, it's things where I try to, put that in the young guys' heads here to let them know. Winning is everything. It's not about points. Some guys will get 16 to 20 points and we'll lose, and they kind of feel like it's okay. Well, I'd rather have 3 or 4 points or 5 or 6 points and we win, and it's because you always know in sports, winners are never forgotten.
Oh, definitely. That is a very true statement.
You never get too many games played back with some losers.
Yeah, that's right.
And, a lot of people, I mean, it hurts in the inside, like, honestly, right now today, because kids nowadays, the players nowadays, they really don't understand the importance of winning. When people see owners, general managers, whatever it may be, scouts, when they see winning on your resume, there's no question about what players they're going to take. Okay, this guy here was winning, but he's averaging 8 points, and this guy here, he's a loser, but he's averaging 20 points. Well, I think I'm going to take this winner because he's going to make my locker room positive. He's going to be positive on the court, and at the end of the day, he knows how to win.
Yeah, there's no ESPN countdown. Tonight, we're going over the top 10 losers. It doesn't work that way. I hear that.
Well, they do have that at the end of the week, but that's just like the blooper kind of plays. But I got to ask you, though, because you played for a bunch of different teams in different leagues, different continents, what has the transition to playing here in Jerusalem, in Israel for Maccabi Haifa, how's that transition gone for you?
You know what? I honestly think it's a gift and a curse for me, because once you learn so much about basketball, have so much knowledge about basketball, it's a gift. But at the same time, you go into different environments and people, don't really love it or study it as much as you have. And the coaches that I have played for, I mean, you really look at it. I played for, Larry Brown, Lenny Wilkins, Ettore Messina, I mean, they really don't too much get better than that besides going to Phil Jackson and,
right.
Above. You know what I'm saying? And when you know so much, you tend to try to install it so much into another program that will make the game so much easier for the program and organization. And when some people, haven't been there or whatever it may be, they don't understand it, and they look at it as criticism instead of looking at it saying we can take a step forward.
All right, Jermaine, you played for Larry Brown. It's kind of cheesy and cliche, but did you go to practice?
Yeah. Well, I was the type of guy, I was on a lower pedestal, so I had to go to practice and be at practice early and leave practice late. So, yeah, we talking about when you're talking about me playing with Larry Brown.
Absolutely. All right, Jermaine, we got to run, but it's been a lot of fun, a great pleasure. When next time you come to Jerusalem, we got to get you in studio, and whenever you come out to Haifa, we got to meet and hang out, and I think we'd have a lot of fun. It'd be a good time.
Anytime, man, and thanks a lot, guys.
I appreciate it, man. Good luck the rest of the way.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, man.
All right, thanks.